then we like to blame others. Yeah? Yeah, well, he's racist, that guy is corrupted, she is corrupted, he is corrupted, all that. And, if we keep doing that, we are not going to actually rise up and become a super intelligent species. We can become a super intelligent species if we encourage and persuade our children to read books. Yes, I'll say it again. Read books. Children need to stop playing games like Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto and FIFA. Yes, and adults, football. Really, what are you going to get out of football? I mean, it's not going to benefit you, is it? Read, go to your library, get some books and get reading. I'm telling you. This is, you need to educate your children. So this is for, all disadvantaged groups. Yeah, all disadvantaged groups. Okay, so at the moment, all disadvantaged groups at the moment is, I'm telling you, because of lack of education. Yeah, and if you look at the people who are in power, that's because they're educated. I'm sorry, they're not. Okay, yeah, maybe the color of the skin is a factor. So yeah, white people in power, yeah, all around the world. I mean, Western countries, but look at their education. Alhamdulillah, they are very educated. They understand this. What I'm saying, disadvantaged groups, whoever you are, and of course, in the UK there are white community disadvantaged groups. Again, because of not reading. Read books and go university, yeah, go college and get degrees in politics, in political science, in philosophy, in psychology, yeah, become writers and journalists and honest writers and journalists, become, doctors and accountants and educated, yeah, become a professional, yeah, economists, yeah, socialists, scientists, and this is how you can solve these racism issues. Yes, it's lack of education. Yes, it's lack of education. If we go, say, just about 200 years ago in the UK, there was no NHS, there was no DWP, meaning benefit system to help the needy, the disadvantaged. There was none of that. And yes, European, English, Irish, Welsh children, especially poor families, at the age of 9, 10, 11, had to go and work and do really nasty work, cleaning other people's excrements, urine, cleaning the chimney and cleaning the streets. But then, education helped. So basically some people later on said, look, we really need to help these children. It's wrong, a child is working for, at the age of 10. We need, education. And so, and it's not like the British government didn't have money. Oh, they had money. I mean, British Empire back then, going back 200 years or 250 years, they had money. And also it was almost the beginning of the Industrial Revolution in the United Kingdom. So they had money, but they didn't understand, some of them at the top who had money, they actually didn't know how to reinvest their money. So some people who are more educated suggested, look, we need to invest in building infrastructure. So let's, railways and, make them better, and roads, and but especially let's have schools and colleges, or they called them polytechnics back then, And basically, yeah, schools. So the people who had money said, well, what are we going to get out of it? And so the people who are educated, said, look, yeah, let's build schools, yeah, with your money, investment, and then, children, go to school, and after 10, 12 years, 15 years of education, they come out becoming, engineers and doctors and scientists and, professional, and then you give them work, and then, at the same time, okay, you build more infrastructure such as hospitals, and expand the railway system, expand the road system, transportation, all that, yeah, ships and navy, and then if you can put you know 4 million people into work and say, right, now I want income tax. Yeah, so just to make the maths easy, so 4 million people back then said they earned £10 a week, and or said they earned £20 a week, and the tax was like £1. Yeah, 4 million people, £1. That's 4 million a week. Income tax goes back to the government or to those people who invested in building schools. Yeah, and this is what we need to do in America, in Black African communities, in Muslim countries, like in Bangladesh, in Pakistan. We need to, the rich should invest in schools, and then, they become doctors and engineers and scientists, and then you give them job, and again, you increase the salary slowly and ask for income tax. And that's how Britain, United Kingdom, is tax rich and has come a long way. And similar with the United States of America. I mean, I don't want to go into the Columbus and colonialism, but yeah, Christopher Columbus went, and he killed a lot of Native Americans. But post Columbus, United States start building infrastructure and hospitals and schools and colleges, and so education is the key. But I'm telling you, nowadays, reading, I mean, honestly, you could read online. You can subscribe to Amazon. I think it's about £8 or £9 a month, and you will have access to millions and millions of books. Yeah, just get a Kindle, Kindle reader, which is about only like £40 or something like that, and your child will have access to so much books to read. So, this is what we need to do. We need to tell our children to read books. And then we, as a children of Adam, peace be upon Adam, can leave this racism behind. Reading also will help, reduce inequality, meaning your child who, because of reading, easy to get a degree, finds it easy to get a degree, will get a better job. Yes, definitely. Okay, so this is what we need to do. And look, I tell you, someone with a degree is always better off. And I'll give you a good example. So, two people at the age of 22, average 22, and one person has a university degree, and the other person doesn't. But both of them begin to work, say, at Asda or Tesco, Asda or Walmart. And the person with the degree will start on what's called a graduate training scheme as a junior manager on a salary between 18 to 25,000 pounds or dollars a year, give or take. The person without the degree will start on minimum wage, which is, I don't know, £8 maybe, or £7 an hour. Yeah. Now, 3 years later, the person with a degree will become the store manager, or 4 years later. The person without the degree will still be on minimum wage and doing shelving. Another 5, 6, 7 years later, the person with the degree will be a senior manager, more promotion, company car, even probably will have some shares in Asda or Walmart. You see my point? But the person without the degree will still be shelving. That's because he will not be given more responsibility, because he wouldn't know how to, what to do with more responsibility. I mean, if someone does not have a degree, what it means is they haven't trained themselves for more responsibility. Okay? So, reading and then going to university, getting a degree. And also, when a person does a degree, 3 to 4 years, 5 years, they, each year they're doing assignments, they're learning, they're progressing, they're reading. And after, that 3, 4 years, when they graduate, they become, a better person. Education generally should make you a better person. I mean, what I'm trying to say is that greed is a choice, and we should avoid greed. Definitely, greed is a choice, jealousy is a choice. Free will allows you autonomy, therefore dual nature, therefore choices. Positive nature factors and negative nature factors. Now, that was, regards to, of course, I started with George Floyd and then education, but that's the key. The solution is education. Protesting is all good and looting is bad. And what I'm trying to say is protesting, there's been so many protests in the past. Was the 1992 LA riots when Michael Jackson was alive, for similar, incidents. This, protesting will not actually change the current situation. Solution to the current situation regarding disadvantaged people all around the world, be African Americans in America, be Africans in Africa, be white people in South Africa, be Muslims in all around the world. Key education is the key. When you tell your child to read, and they keep reading, and they keep reading, and they keep reading, and then they become politicians, and then they become policymakers, and they become good politicians, they avoid greed, then they can bring about change, then they can change the system. The only way to change a corrupted system is to be involved and get into that system. But of course, you have to be educated to get into. Even if the system is corrupted, it's managed by educated people who, of course, have greedy agendas, who have become corrupted. So you have to, get into politics and be a good politician, politics for good, and that's how you can change. And change will come, but this is how we have to do it. Now, carrying on, I would like to talk about that. It's a different topic, and the topic is living a non-Muslim life is biologically and chemically unwise, foolish. Living a non-Muslim life is biologically and chemically unwise, foolish. And you may ask why. So when you live as a non-Muslim and you drink alcohol to your heart's content, then it destroys your liver. When you live as a non-Muslim and you take cannabis and heroin for self-indulgence, this destroys your brain, mind and soul. You see, the Creator wrote the program as such that if you do not worship the Creator Allah the way the Creator wants you to worship, which is through Islam, meaning being as a Muslim, worshipping the Creator Allah as a Muslim, Quran and Sunnah, Islam. And if you don't, be grateful to the one who created you, and that is the Creator Allah, if you don't be grateful to Allah, meaning you choose and you decide to live a non-Muslim life, then you end up in a state of punishment which can and may be eternal. And it is eternal. Having said this, the Creator Allah knows best. It's like fire having pain, but the fire cannot escape the fire because it is pain itself. It's like fire having pain, but the fire cannot escape the fire because it is pain itself. Save the real you, which is your soul. The real you is your soul, not your earthly body. Therefore, save yourself from the fire of Jahannam, the punishment. Save yourself from the hellfire, not for God, but for your own sake. For your own sake. The disobedience in society is self-evident. We don't like authority. The disobedience in society is self-evident and apparent. This proves we have free will. One of the purposes of our free will is so that we have choices in life and are not robot-like human, but genuine human. The Creator Allah created us as genuine humans, and obviously the Creator Allah did not want us to be robot-like. This is why the Creator Allah gave us free will. So it is up to us that we make the correct choice. And the correct guidance, is Islam. Therefore, the correct choice is Islam. Because Islam has deterrents such as no alcohol, no gambling, no drugs, no sex before marriage, and more. And all the things that I have just mentioned